Hello. All right, Billy Summers. I'm here in another part of my organ room so that I can illustrate this next point that I'd like to make with regard to problems with bass pedals that are sticking. And I'm sitting here at a set of a bass pedal frame. I guess you can call it a set, a bass pedal frame. And I just want to point out to you another important aspect of setting your bass pedals so that they don't stick. And I think I pointed it out on the first video, but you can see it probably even more clearly here using this frame. Now here's the screw that you want to look at, and there's another one here. There's another screw here, and there's a screw here. Okay, so what happens is that when you move these screws cause these railings here. This railing. Let me show you. The railings go lengthwise here. See, they go all the way down to the back. Flow all the way down, all the way through the length of the pedal board. So this has to be properly adjusted in order to keep your pedals from sticking, so that also your bass pedal board system will fit properly into the slot that it was designed to fit in under the organ, the Hammond organ. So these screws have to be properly adjusted. Now these here, down here, need to be tightened. These need to be tight. But this is your adjustment right here. Let me show you what happens when you turn this screw. They have a little tap on the back of them, back side. Let me see if I can show you that. See it here? And that's what the screw screws into. And then there's this little washer here. So go, see if you can see it. Little spacer right there. And all of that works together. So when I take the screwdriver and I'm going to hold this little part back here, I can feel it. I can feel this turning as I turn my screwdriver. Now, if I hold it tight enough, I can stop this from turning. And what happens is that the screw begins to loosen. And as it's loosening, this railing loosens. And as the railing loosens, it moves in this direction, which would mean that the whole base, the base on this end, would be raising up. Okay, so the more I loosen this, the more the base on this end would raise up. And the same is true of the other railings. The ones in the middle that would cause the whole base to raise up, and the one on the right end will cause the base to raise up on that end. So if your pedals are ever like this, you might want to adjust the railings so that you can have a horizontal, even level of pedals. But adjusting this can also affect pedals in terms of their sticking, because if depending on the floor, the rug, or the carpet that the organ is on, if this is not sitting right and not properly adjusted, then these can be setting down too low. This pedal board can set down too low, and the pedal pushers will then push down on top of the pin that sends the signal to the organ for sound to occur, and you hear a bass note being played because these railings are not properly adjusted. Okay, So you want to make sure that these are properly tightened and adjusted. And you can't always properly tighten them with the bass pedals underneath your organ. So to tighten them, you actually have to, you may have to remove the pedals from the organ, slide them out and set it up, or put your finger down here like this, underneath this, to hold this so that you can tighten up this screw. Because otherwise, what you can be getting, if you just leave them on the floor under the organ and you start trying to turn this, you just continue to turn this. Just continue to turn this, and this thing back here will just turn with it. It'll turn. I don't know if you can see it, but it's turning right now. Let me show you. I'm going to focus in on this. And if this is turning, you're not doing anything. We're just turning it. Watch. See, that's just turning. You're not tightening up anything. And sometimes you can see this railing, it'll move, it'll shift on an organ when it's attached to the organ. You can sometimes see this railing shifting back and forth, boom, boom, like this. And that's just because this thing is turning. So now this railing is tight because I'm holding this down. See, now I got it tight. Okay, because I held it in place and tightened it up. Now you have to be careful because on a pedal board, of course, you're going to have the pedals on it. So you can't just lean across it like I'm doing with this. All the pedals have been removed from this frame. And one of the major dangers of dealing with bass pedals is that the pedal pushers, the metal sharp pedal pushers, can cause serious damage to your body members, to your hands, your wrists, your fingers, to whatever body parts that touch those metal pedal pushers, because I mean they're sharp. They're like sharp razor blades, and those pedal pushers will actually cut to the bone. So you want to be extremely careful in manipulating your bass pedals. You want to move extremely. You want with extreme caution, very slowly. When dealing with pedals, it's not something that you want to do in a hurry. You don't want to be rushed at all, because you can reach down and reach out and rip your hand or finger or wrist across one of those pedal pushers and end up having to go to the emergency room and have stitches because of cutting yourself in a very severe fashion, and you don't want that. So when you do go to work on those bass pedals, just take your time, move methodically, move slowly, move carefully, and keep your eyes on what you're doing. Keep your eyes on your hands. Hand-eye coordination is essential when working on these pedals, because once again, because one slip, you look away and you move your hand in the wrong way, you can have a severe cut. And I'm telling you, it hurts. I've never cut myself to the bone, but I've cut myself enough times to know that messing with pedal pushers and being cut by pedal pushers is an extremely painful experience. And so please be careful. Okay, so this is Dr. Kemp, and I'm going to end this video, and I again hope that this has been helpful to you. And I'm going to say God bless, and please have a wonderful day. Goodbye.